Look, it wasn't easy for me to tell Sonny that a guy like Johnny's getting one over on you.
Why tell Dad anything at all? You know how he feels about Johnny. I mean, all you did is just take another step in the direction of a mob war.
Michael, if you want peace, you gotta cut all ties with the Sakars.
Okay, so basically do as I'm told and everyone will be happy.
Pretty much. Okay. Johnny's playing you, Michael. I thought you'd be smart enough to see that.
No, here's what I see. Brandon's dead. Me, Abby, and Jason are suspects. I have to do something to prove that we're innocent.
No. That's my job. Let me do that.
And what doesn't surprise me that you'd set Michael up for murder because you're a coward and you're an opportunist.
Like you, marrying Claudia for a business deal.
Oh,
or have we forgotten about that?
Are we still gonna talk about that? You want revenge? This is your chance, isn't it? That's why you want to frame Michael.
You're not hearing me, Sonny. I'm not trying to frame Michael. I'm trying to save him from you.
I trusted you the night that Brandon almost raped Abby. He could be gone. He could have disappeared. You know that?
Okay, why don't you say what you mean? You mean Brandon could have been dead?
Yeah, exactly.
And you'd have been okay with that. Jason takes him out to the Pine Barrens and puts a bullet in his head.
You swore that he'd be arrested, and he wasn't. I can't take the chance you're gonna be wrong again.
Michael, Abby dropped the charges. That's why Brandon was released.
No, Abby dropped the charges to protect me. She knew that Brandon's lawyer was gonna make it look like I violated my parole.
Right, okay, we're going around in circles with this.
Yeah, we are. Because the system that you swore to uphold, it doesn't work for me. Look, you can trust it all you want. You can trust it all you want. Look, I'm gonna find out who really killed Brandon, and Johnny's gonna help me.
Oh, cut the crap, Michael. If Brandon's body had shown up or not, you'd still find a reason to go to Johnny because he's your way in. And that's what you want right now. You want the chance to have that power, the chance to prove to Sonny that you're as good a criminal as he is. Well, you know what you're gonna get? The chance to throw your life away.
I have honored our truce, okay? If you're smart, you're not gonna push your luck here.
Is it a violation of the truce if I befriend your son? I don't think so.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, everybody likes to talk about how nutty my father is. And I'm not going to disagree. I'll be the first one to tell you he's a couple of marbles short of a sack. But compared to Michael, the way I grew up was a cakewalk.
Right. That's why I'm not going to let you manipulate him.
Michael's a grown man. He can pick and choose who he wants to socialize with.
Okay, Johnny. Michael is going to finish his parole, and he's going to go to college, and you're not going to get in the way. If you want to man up, you want to come after me, I welcome that. But what you need to stop doing is hiding behind my children.
Just say for the sake of the argument that I'm not the total incompetent that you and Dad seem to think that I
Michael,
am.
never once have I said or felt or implied that you were incompetent. Obviously you're not. You've lived through things that would have destroyed me.
Do you think you would have fought off Carter?
I don't know, Michael.
Yeah, you do. You think you would have. And you think I'm weak because I didn't.
No, I think you learned the wrong lesson when you were in prison. It's not about being stronger than the guy next to you. It's not about showing that you can function in the mob. It's about getting away from everything that sent you to prison in the first place.
Okay, now how am I supposed to do that? Ignore my father, ignore the life I grew up in, ignore every single thing that I know? Like, you were basically raised to be a cop, Dante, to believe in the system, believe that it worked. To trust what you know, right? Why shouldn't I do the same thing?
Sonny doesn't want you to be like him.
Maybe I do.
Really? You want to deal with thieves and killers? You want to be one day? I mean, how do you think that's going to affect you on the back end? Look at Sonny right now. He's not a happy man. Okay? You and I both know that. I mean, I do. Like Sonny was just telling me today how much you've suffered because of him. And it kills him, Michael, the guilt that he's choking on. But he can't do the one thing that he should do to save you, and that's get out of the business.
Why should he?
To set a better example, to point your life in a better direction. But Sonny was beat up when he was a kid. And that day, he convinced himself that one day in the future, he was going to be so strong that no one would be able to hurt him ever again.
Your dad told you this?
He didn't need to. Not any more than you do. Like, I know what Carter did to you is driving you right now, and you've convinced yourself that to be powerful is the only way that no one can hurt you ever again. But really, to be powerful is to take control of your life, and the only way to have a life like that is to get past all of this stuff.
All right, look, I know you're just trying to help. Sorry I went off on you before.
Did anything I say even register? You just gonna end up doing what you're doing?
Look, I don't expect you to cover for me. Whatever happens, I'll deal with it.
Michael, however this works out, I mean, if you become the godfather of the Eastern Seaboard, I'm still your brother. I'm not going to go against you.
Well, maybe you won't come to that.
But you're not willing to promise me anything. Okay, just don't get arrested in the next 20 minutes, okay?
I can at least promise you that.
Twice in one day. What's the occasion?
We left a couple things out last time we talked, Johnny.
Got a pretty good idea where this is headed, so why don't you take the floor from here?
Who's your lawyer?
Angela Dwyer. We've been through this a couple times recently.
Yeah, we have. You forgot to tell me that you paid her to defend Brandon.
No, I didn't.
So it's just a coincidence. It's just a coincidence. So Brandon was broke. Okay, he was broke. He's about to take the plea bargain. Then out of nowhere, Angela Dwyer, your family attorney, steps in to defend him. Okay, then he's out on parole. He beats Abby up. Then he's dead in the parking lot of Vons. And you had nothing to do with this.
Nothing whatsoever.
Okay. Let me take you back a little further then. You own Vons. You probably saw me go in there to see Abby. You saw there's an opening to work me, right?
So I what? Dragged Brandon Lowell out of whatever gutter he had crawled himself into, pointed him in Abby's direction, told him to almost rape her, but hold back just enough so that you can swoop in and save the day? Michael, if I'm capable of engineering a plot that thick and having it all work out, don't you think I'd go for a bigger payout?
Like destroying my father?
Okay, yeah, your father was here. He thinks I'm trying to burn you. In Sonny's world, nobody does anything that doesn't involve him.
Did you set me up?
Michael, I swear on my sister's grave that I never met Brandon, never even heard of the guy before he got involved with Abby. I did not hire that lawyer to defend him, and I certainly didn't knock him off. I'm not trying to burn you, Michael. Just the opposite. I'm trying to save you if that's possible.
Save me from what?
From yourself.
What is that supposed to mean?
All right, stop me if any of this gets redundant or inaccurate. Okay, you idolize your father. To you, Sonny is the pinnacle of power. When he is wronged by his enemies, he doesn't call the cops and search for that day of justice that's never going to come. No, he takes it upon himself to get justice, right? His enemies vanish, he becomes more rich, more powerful, and maybe you want a taste of that power. Hell, maybe one day you even want to take over for him. But Sonny's not having it. Think of it this way. Sonny raised you in a candy store, and then woke up one day and decided that sugar was bad for you. So he kicked you out, locked the door, threw away the key, and he's still back at the candy store munching on all the candy he wants.
Look, Johnny, if you're trying to get me to turn against my dad, you are wasting your breath.
Your father wants you to have nothing to do with this business.
Why, I'm not good enough?
Sonny loves this business. And what he loves most about it is the power. And he got that power by killing people. He's got blood on his hands. He does not want that blood to brush off onto you. He wants you to stay squeaky clean and perfect. That way, any damage he's inflicted doesn't matter if it doesn't affect you.
So the worst thing that could happen to my father is me joining the mob. Is this where you offer me a job? Look, if you give me a job and you make me a criminal, my father will blame himself.
Yeah, would I love that? Yeah. Is it gonna happen? No. Sonny will always find a way to absolve himself.
How can I trust you when you despise my father?
Because I'm honest about it, Michael. And if you didn't hear me the first 152 times, I don't hate you.
You don't hate me for killing your sister. Yes, I know.
Hey, look, my father and I, kind of similar to you and your father, but opposites at the same time. I hated him my whole life. Wanted to get as far away from him as humanly possible. It's like that candy store, again. Right? The further away you get from it, the sweeter it smells, the more you want to go back to it. So I opened my garage. I was fixing cars for a while. I was more bored than a dolphin in a swimming pool. What's worse? I was getting pushed around. I had no power. Anybody at any time could come into my shop, push me around, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I came back.
You know, a smart businessman would eliminate his rival. He'd find his weakness and exploit it. Like you exploiting my father's love for me.
Okay, Michael, there's also another thing that you need to understand about this business. Another downside. And I'm sure you've heard it, but I'm going to tell you again just for good measure. The violence takes its toll. Either you break, or you end up so hardened inside that you don't feel a damn thing. You lose people that you love. And no matter how good you think you are, 9 times out of 10 you go into prison or you end up dead. My advice to you, ride this thing out with Abby. Hopefully Dante will find some way to exonerate her. You can take the win, move on with your life. Go to college, become a doctor, lawyer, whatever you want to do.
What is this, reverse psychology? You tell me things I should do knowing I'm going to do the opposite?
Michael, I've given you the facts. You know where I stand. The rest is up to you.
You know that's exactly what I want to hear.
You came to my house, yet I'm the one being interrogated.
All right, look, I'm sorry if I overstepped, okay? Look, I really appreciate everything you've done for me and Abby.
Okay, just know one thing, okay? I'm never gonna offer you a job. But if you come back here looking for one, I'm not gonna turn you away. But...
I think the best solution is gonna... I know that you have worked very hard to broker a truce, but Johnny is becoming a real problem. And I know he's coming after Mike. I'm not saying he's framing him, but he's recruiting him.
Michael's being receptive.
Look, Mike already knows I don't want him to be part of my organization, but Michael's going to do what Michael does. And I'm saying that Johnny, he's just kind of, you know, offering him things, and that's all I'm saying.
All right, so what are you going to do?
Well, I want you to help me, because you know if he goes into that organization, he's done. So I want you to convince him, or try, to stay away.
You don't think I've been trying to do that?
Well, can you try a little harder? Maybe you could arrest Johnny for something, send him to prison so he can be with his old man. They can play cards, whatever.
I can't just twist the law to serve what I need.
Not even to save your brother from turning out like his dad?
Come on, don't you see the hypocrisy here? When it's convenient, you want me to look the other way. When the law can work to your advantage, you want me to step in.
You want your brother to work for Johnny Zakar?
No, of course not.
Then arrest him for something. Shut him down.
I can't promise to do that.
Can you promise to help your brother?
Yeah, look, Sonny, I don't know what you want me to do. I've tried. Michael does not listen to me.
Well,
okay? I mean, you have to come to the terms with the fact that maybe he does not want to live the life that you want him to live. He made no plans to go to college. The only future he's planned on is having something to do with the family business. Okay, and I don't blame him. If you had the choice between you and me, what would you choose? You get an underpaid cop, or you, a guy who's married to a supermodel and answers to no one?
just make him understand he can be better than me. That's all I want.
Look, I don't want to make anything worse for you.